Alrighty, it is finally time for my final predictions of this 2022 Oscar season. I'm happy it's all going to be over in a couple days because I am done theorizing and thinking about what's going to win Best Picture. But without further ado, let's get into it. Best Picture has now become a race between The Power of the Dog and CODA. If CODA ends up winning Best Picture, it is going to break a lot of stats here. More often than not, the Best Picture winner has had a fall film festival run, is nominated for an editing award at the Oscar, is nominated at the DGA Awards, and CODA has none of those. But what it does have is a win at SAG and a win at the PGAs. And that's pretty big. And that's why a lot of people are thinking that it could be the movie to break all the records. I think the big thing that's making CODA such an underdog is that it only got the 3 nominations at the Oscars. But since those nominations have come out, it's finally started winning a lot of big awards, meaning that all the love for that movie can now go into just its 3 nominations, whereas Power of the Dog has 12 split up amongst all these categories. While CODA may not be the most technically impressive movie, it's definitely a crowd favorite and does a lot of good for the deaf community that's representing in the movie. While a lot of people still really love The Power of the Dog, it doesn't have necessarily the best ratings. The thing that's difficult for me here is that you would think predicting Power of the Dog is the safe bet. It ticks all the boxes for the nominations it needs, but yet CODA is having such a moment right now that it would be hard to not predict it when it seems like all the momentum's going towards it. And the thing is, I don't want to be wrong in predicting the Best Picture, the biggest award of the night. And I feel like if I predict CODA, then even if it ends up losing, that probably means Power of the Dog won. And I like Power of the Dog a little bit more than CODA, so I would be happy. But if I predict Power of the Dog and Power of the Dog ends up losing, that means CODA wins. And I like CODA a little bit less, so it might hurt a little bit more if I end up being wrong there. I think we'll know more on the night of the actual Oscars as awards start being announced, specifically looking ahead at adapted screenplay. Depending on which way that goes, we may start to see a trend in who's going to end up winning Best Picture. For now, I'm going to predict CODA to win Best Picture. It's also rather interesting because Power of the Dog is a Netflix-produced movie, whereas CODA is Apple TV+. So both of these come from streaming services, and I don't know if a streaming service movie has ended up winning Best Picture. So this would be a first regardless. Netflix has been close with Roma, The Irishman, and Marriage Story a couple years back, but I don't know if Power of the Dog's the one to do it for them. All right, one award that we are sure Power of the Dog will be winning is Best Director. That's going to go to Jane Campion. She has won everywhere she needs to, and I honestly don't know who second place would go to. I think she's a lock for The Power of the Dog because I don't see that going winless at all. Now on to Best Actor. I think that's another locked category. I think that's Will Smith's to lose right now. He's won pretty much all the acting awards he's needed to, and I think the only actor that challenges him for this one would be Benedict Cumberbatch, but I don't see Benedict winning this. Will Smith does a really great job in King Richard. He plays a larger-than-life personality where Benedict Cumberbatch's performance is a little more subtle. Best Actress, I'm going to go with Jessica Chastain. Ever since she won the SAGs, she's sort of been off and running, but you never know with this. It could be an upset here. We just don't really know who would be second here, which is why I still have to stick with Chastain. She's been nominated a few times before. It may be her time to win one. All right, fun note from Editing Jack. I forgot to film my prediction for Best Supporting Actor, so I'm going to do that now. I am going with Troy Kotsur. Okay, back to the video. Best Supporting Actress, that's another locked category as well. That's Arna DeBose. She has yet to lose. Best Adapted Screenplay is one that is up in the air. This is sort of a 3-horse race with Belfast, Don't Look Up, and Licorice Pizza. They've all split the awards. Most recently, Don't Look Up winning WGA. But the reason I'm sticking with Belfast is because Belfast won the Golden Globe. It did lose the BAFTA to Licorice Pizza, but then Licorice Pizza ended up losing WGA to Don't Look Up. And I think Don't Look Up is a bit too controversial to win this. And Licorice Pizza does have a little bit of controversy on its own. It pains me to say it, but I think Belfast might be the movie to win here. Because like Power of the Dog, it is nominated in a lot of categories, and this is its best chance it has to win. It would just be the sweetest thing ever if Worst Person in the World slipped through, though. Best Adapted Screenplay is the same race as Best Picture. It's CODA versus The Power of the Dog. CODA has won WGA and the BAFTA, whereas Power of the Dog got the Golden Globe and the Critics' Choice Award, which leads me to think CODA's going to win here. I sort of have to go with it if I'm also predicting CODA for Best Picture. It could end up being a split. Adapted Screenplay goes to one movie and Best Picture goes to another one. I think if Power of the Dog wins Best Adapted Screenplay, it'll win Best Picture. But I think if CODA wins Best Adapted Screenplay, there is still a chance for Power of the Dog, but I think it makes CODA a lot more likely to win Best Picture if it wins Adapted Screenplay. Best Animated Feature, I'm going to go with Encanto, but The Mitchells vs. the Machines is a close second. It has won in a couple places, but Encanto has the best song and the best score nomination, which makes me think that it's got to win here. It would be crazy if Flea won here, although an animated documentary winning this would be really crazy just because that's never happened before. But you never know. This year already seems like it's going to be breaking some trends. Best International Features got to go to Drive My Car. It has the Best Picture nomination as well, and the Best Adapted Screenplay nomination, and the Best Director nomination. It's clearly the frontrunner in this category. The Worst Person in the World and Flea both did get nominations in other categories, so they're not out of the picture yet, but I think Drive My Car is going to win this one. Best Documentary Feature, I'm going to go with Summer of Soul. Flea does stand a chance here, though, because it has nominations in other categories. But Summer of Soul has a lot of love behind it, and it's very popular for documentary, so I feel like I gotta go with that here. Although it does feel weird having Flea not win, despite being nominated in 3 categories. Best Cinematography is a little bit interesting. I think Dune's gonna win this. It won at the American Cinematographers Guild. Where it did miss out was at Critics' Choice. Power of the Dog did win that, but I'm not quite sure how much overlap there really is. Greg Fraser's also having a really good moment here with the Batman just now coming out, so we could even see him nominated again this time next year. Costume design, I'm going to go with Cruella. It's sort of been the front runner here for a little bit now. I haven't actually seen it, but it's pretty popular. It's sort of known for its costumes. Makeup and hairstyling, I'm going to go with The Eyes of Tammy Faye, because I'm also going with Jessica Chastain to win Best Actress. And to me, it sort of makes sense that the Best Actress that's covered in all your makeup and hairstyling then leads to a win in that category as well. Film editing is kind of tricky. I'm going to be going with Dune here just because a movie with this many technical nominations, I feel like has to be the frontrunner to win this. Original score, I'm also going to go with Dune. In my personal winners video, I went with Power of the Dog just because that's one that I can listen to on my day-to-day, but the score in Dune is so overpowering in so much of the movie that it sort of feels like the number one choice here. It's also composed by Hans Zimmer, who's sort of due for another Oscar, I think. Original song, I'm going to go with No Time to Die. These original songs for the Bond movies usually get a lot of love, and I think that's going to be no different here. Production design is sort of tough for me to pick. I'm split between Dune and Nightmare Alley. I think the safe bet here is go with Dune. But the thing is, I don't see Dune winning every single tech category that's nominated for. I guess it's sort of a toss-up, but I'm going to go with Dune again. Although, Nightmare Alley could win here because I just think Dune's going to drop the ball in a couple of these categories. I don't think it's going to drop the ball in sound, though. Like how the score in Dune is so powerful, the sound also goes along with that. Also, the sound and the editing categories can sometimes sort of be tied together. So, I'm predicting Dune in editing. I'm also predicting Dune in sound. The only 2 films that are nominated in both these categories is The Power of the Dog and Dune. And I don't see Power of the Dog winning Best Sound here. Visual effects, I'm also going to go with Dune. This seems like another one they will not lose. It's not as contested as some of the other ones like editing, production design, or cinematography. And then the short films. I have not seen the short films, but I can sure as heck look at some of the odds online and go with those. So for animated short film, I'm going to go with Robin Robin. For live action short film, I'm going with The Long Goodbye. It has Riz Ahmed, and I think maybe that's a big enough name for it to win. And then for best documentary short, I have The Queen of Basketball. I don't really have a reason there, but I'm just going to lock that in. I'm super excited for the Oscars. I'm going to be watching with a lot of my friends, so I'll try and put out a recap of it the day after. But yeah, let me know your predictions for the Oscars in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching.